Okay, for this video, we'll be discussing about conditional formatting using Microsoft Excel. Introduction. In Microsoft Excel, you can use conditional formatting for data visualization. You have to specify formatting for a cell range based on the contents of the cell range. The cells that meet the specified conditions will be formatted as you have defined. Example, in a range containing the sales figures of the past quarter, for a set of salesperson, you can highlight those cells representing who have met the defined target. Say for example, $2,500. You can set the condition as total sales of the person greater or equal to 25,000 and specify a color code green. Excel checks each cell in the range to determine whether the condition you specified, that is total sales of the person is greater or equal to 25,000 or 2,500 rather, is satisfied. Excel applies the format you choose, that is the green color, to all the cells that satisfy the condition. If the content of a cell does not satisfy the condition, the formatting of the cell remains unchanged. The result is as expected. Only for the salesperson who have met the target, the sales are highlighted in green. A quick visualization of the analysis results. You can specify any number of conditions for formatting by specifying rules. You can pick up the rules that match your conditions from highlight cell rules or top-bottom rules. You can also define your own rules. You can add a rule, clear an existing rule, or manage the defined rules. Further, you have several formatting options in Excel to choose the ones that are appropriate for your data visualization. These are data bars, color scales, or icon sets. Conditional formatting has been promoted over the versions Excel 2007, Excel 2010, and Excel 2013. The examples you find in this chapter are from Excel 2013. In the following sections, you will understand the conditional formatting rules, formatting options, and how to work with rules. Highlight cell rules. You can use highlight cells rule to assign a format to cells whose contents meet any of the following criteria. So for numbers within the given numerical range, so greater than, less than, between, or equal to. Text that contains a given text string. Or date occurring within a given range of dates relative to the current date. So yesterday, today, tomorrow, in the last 7 weeks, last week, this week, next week, last month, this month, next month. So, and also we can highlight values that are duplicate or unique. Follow the steps to conditionally format cells. So first, select the range to be conditionally formatted. So in this case, this is the range. So selected. You notice the green border. Then click conditional formatting. So we have conditional formatting. So place at the home tab or home ribbon. So click conditional formatting in the styles group under home tab. Then click highlight cell values, or highlight cell rules, highlight cell rules from the drop down menu. Again, the first step is select. Then at the home tab, you click on conditional formatting and then click on highlight cell rules. And then this will appear, highlight cell rules options. We have greater than, less than, etc. So click the greater than and specify greater than, or specify 750. That means greater than 750. And choose the green color, so green field with dark green text. So that's the format we have chosen. And then also click the less than and and specify less than 500. So we have less than 500, and then choose the red colors. We have light red fill with red, dark red text. And then between, so we have between condition, so specify 500 and 750. So that's between these two values here. And then place your yellow fill with dark yellow text. Okay, let's proceed. Then the data will be highlighted based on the given conditions and the corresponding formatting. So you notice these are those that are between, these are those that are higher than 750, and these one are lower than 500. So we can see from the values here at column C. Okay, let's proceed. We have also the top-bottom rules. You can use top-bottom rules to assign a format to cells whose contents meet any of the following criteria. So top 10 items, so cells that rank in the top n, where 1 is lesser or equal to n, and n is lesser or equal to 1000. So top 10%, cell that rank in the top n%, where again n is less, it should be 1 is lesser or equal to n, so that means n should be greater or equal to 1, but n could not be greater than 100. Bottom 10 items, so cells that rank in the bottom n, where again n can be from 1 to 1000. Bottom 10%, again cells that rank in the bottom n%, so where n now can be from 1 to 100. Above average, cells that are above average for the selected range, and below average, cells that are below average for the selected cells, or range rather. Follow the steps given below to assign the top-bottom rules. So the first one is select the range to be conditionally formatted. And then click on conditional formatting, and then on the styles, so that's under home, and then we have here the styles. So we click on conditional formatting and then click on top bottom rules. So we have here the rules as mentioned in the previous slide. So click the top 10 items and specify 5 with green fill with dark green text. So these are part of the top 5. Then click on the bottom 10, specify 5 light red fill with dark red. So those in dark red or red background are those that are part of the bottom 5, and those in green are part of the top 5. So this is how we do the formatting. So that means 5, top 5, and then this will be the format for top 5. Bottom 5, this will be the format for the bottom 5. So the data will be highlighted based on the given condition. So this will be our result. Now repeat the first 3 steps given above. So we have select, conditional formatting, okay, and then top bottom. But this time around, we click top 10 and specify 5, so top 10%. We specify 5, and bottom 10% we also specify 5. So since we have only a few record here, so we only have one from top 5% and another one from top or bottom 10%, because this one is in percentage, not in number of elements or items. So very similar with the previous one, except that we use top 10% and bottom 10%. So the data will be highlighted based on the given condition. So this will be our output. then top and bottom rules. So we have here now repeat the first three steps given above. So click above average now. So in this time around we use the above average. So format cells that are above average for the selected range. We have green, fill with dark green text. These are the above average. And format cells that are below average. So for the selected range, so light red fill with dark red text. So those in red background are those that are below average. So the result will be something like this. So all of the green items here are above average, while the red are those that are below average. Next, we discuss about data bars. You can use colored data bars to see the value in a cell relative to the values in the other cells. The length of the data bar represents the value in the cell. A longer bar represents a higher value, and a shorter bar represents a lower value. You have 6 solid colors to choose from for the data bars. These are the blue, green, red, yellow, light blue, and purple. Data bars are helpful in visualizing the higher, lower, and intermediate values when you have large amounts of data. Example, day temperatures across region in a particular month. You can choose gradient fill color bars to visualize the value in a cell relative to the values in other cells. You have 6 gradient colors to choose from. These are for the data bars. These are again blue, green, red, yellow, light blue, and purple. So to do this, we again select the range to be formatted conditionally. So in this case, this one is selected, and then click conditional formatting. So at the home tab, we click conditional formatting, and then we click now on data bars. So from the drop down menu, then the gradient fill options and fill options will appear. So we have the gradient fill options and the solid fill options here. So click the blue data bar in the gradient fill. So the blue data bar in the gradient fill is selected. And then, so here we have here more or less the result. So the highest one will have the full blue color, and the lowest will have the shortest. This one will have the shortest bar. Repeat the first 3 steps. Click the blue data bar in the solid fill options. So again, this time around solid. You can also format data bars such as the data bars starts in the middle of the cell and stretches to the left for negative values. So, and stretches to the right for positive values. So here we have negative and positive values. So you notice for positive values, it stretches to the right, while for negative values, it stretches to the left. We have now also color scales. You can use color scales to see the value in a cell relative to the values in the other cells in a given range. As in the case of highlight cell rules, a color scale uses cell shading to display the differences in cell values. A color gradient will be applied to a range of cells. The color indicates where each cell value falls within that range. You can choose from 3 color scales, so green, yellow, red color scale. We also have the red, yellow, green color scale, green, white, red color scale, red, white, green color scale. We have the blue, white, red color scale. Then we have the red, white, blue color scale. And we also have the 2 color scale. We have white, red, red and white, white, green, green, yellow, and yellow, green color scales. So follow the steps given below to use a color scale. So select the range to be conditionally formatted. Maybe this one. Click on conditional formatting in the home tab. So home tab, conditional formatting, click color scales from the drop down menu. Then the color scale options appear. Then here, for example, we click the green, yellow, red color scale. So green, yellow, red, this one. So the data will be highlighted based on the green, yellow, red color scale in the selected range. Repeat the first 3 steps. Click the green, white color scale. So the data will be highlighted based on the green, white color scale in the selected range. Okay, so those with darker green are higher values, while those that are lighter are the lower values. Here, the green are the higher values, while the red are the lower values, and yellow at the middle. Icon sets. You can use the icon set to visualize numerical differences. The following icon sets are available. So we have directional. So we have arrows. We also have shapes like circles. We have indicators like flags and other icons here. And we also have ratings. As you observe, an icon set consists of 3 to 5 symbols. You can define criteria to associate an icon with each value in a cell range. For example, a red down arrow for small numbers, a green up arrow for large numbers, and a yellow horizontal arrow for intermediate values. Select the range to be conditionally formatted. So maybe this range. Then click on conditional formatting, so home, conditional formatting, and then this time we choose icon sets. The icon set option appears. So we have here the icon set. Click the colored 3 arrows. So we click on the colored 3 arrows. Colored arrows appear next to the data based on the value in the selected range. So the upper values, we have up arrow, then the lower values, down arrow, and then the intermediate values with horizontal yellow values. Repeat the first 3 steps. The icon sets option appears. And then select 5 ratings. The rating icon appears next to the data based on the values in the selected range. So you notice here, the highest value will have 5 bars, and the lowest value will have more or less no bars here. So we have chosen this one. That means we have 5 settings. So based on the value. New rule. You can use new rule to create your own formula as a condition to format a cell as you define. There are 2 ways to use new rule. With new rule option from the drop down menu, or with new rule button in the manage rules dialog box. So with new rule option from the drop down menu, select the range to be conditionally formatted. So this is the range. Click conditional formatting. So that is at the home tab or home ribbon. Click on conditional formatting, and then we click on new rule. The new formatting rule dialog box appears. So this is the new formatting dialog box appears. From the select a rule type box, so select a rule type. Select use a formula to determine which cells to format. So we select use a formula. Okay, edit the rule description box appears. So edit the rule description box, this will appear. Then in the format values, where this formula is true, type the formula. So we have here the formula. So it says here percentile rank blah, blah, is greater than 0.8. So we have the formula. So we base the value on C4, the first value here, and we have here the range from C4 to C18. So we use percentile rank. Then we can click on format button and click OK. So you can change the format. So with that, the cell that contains a value with the formula true are formatted as defined, and those that are not formatted, of course, have the false value. So that was based on this formula. So that ends our lecture for conditional formatting. Thank you very much for viewing this video.